Right, let's start off just taking a few moments to settle in, just sitting comfortably, not forcing any kind of posture, but looking for an upright posture, but not one that's tight or stiff, to the degree that you're familiar with and comfortable in the sort of proper, as it were, Tai Chi postures, moving towards that. That would mean being forwards in your chair a little bit, slightly angled forward so that you can feel about a third of your weight in your feet. Feeling that your body's supported, so feet, hips, chair, of course, supporting you. With this slight angling forwards, it can be a lot more obvious how your back supports the front of your body. So try not to pull your belly in or tighten across your chest. And as we settle into really whatever posture we've taken, whether it's this or you're further back, this growing sense of awareness of the skeleton and the surrounding area, offering you this support from within, and the combination making it possible to maintain an upright posture and to move without stiffening, without having to tighten up. Rubbing your hands together, and then start by tapping over your face, nice and loose in your jaw. And then going up over your head and neck. Down to one shoulder and your arm. Letting the way the muscles vibrate when you strike them. On the other side. Upper part of the chest. Down to your belly, nice and light on your belly. And then the legs. Again, you notice the big muscles of your legs vibrating a little bit. Coming back to sitting. Take a couple of slow, gentle breaths. Just giving yourself the time and the space to let both your body and your mind sort of settle together. And just bringing a gentle awareness to the whole of your body, posture, where you're sitting, maybe the feel of your breathing and so on. And with this as the background to the movements, just slowly beginning to turn your head. So although we may be focusing on one or other parts of the body, in the background, there is this awareness of the whole of your body, from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. Still aware of that support. And as you begin to move, aware of the sort of echoes of the movement. So here, for instance, just moving nice and gently, maybe just feeling a little bit of a response further down your back, between your shoulder blades. Hands resting in front of your shoulders, circling your elbows. Just releasing, softening in the shoulders, upper part of your chest, upper part of your back. Going forwards. It's coming down to your sides. Out a little bit from your sides, rotating your arms. Fingers spread out, slightly curved, where the space is between your fingers and the thumb and forefinger. Bring your hands up and just rotating them around all the way. Trying to feel the rotation from your shoulder down into your fingers, so elbows and wrists very much part of the movement. And back up. Tilting forward, so just rocking forwards on the bones at the base of your pelvis, and more of your weight going into your feet, and then using your feet, pushing down into the floor, push yourself back up, or straining, pull up in your shoulders or your neck. And when we move in the center of our body, we really do get a sense of a connection through the whole of our body, because as you go forward, your weight moves from your hips to your feet, your shoulders move forwards. When you go back, the weight moves back, your shoulders go back, and so on and so forth. So that sense of connection in the body is very much related to our ability to settle our attention in this middle part of the body. So this time, when you start to go forward, you turn a little bit. You can still feel the movement in the other leg, but more of your weight goes into this leg, the one that you're moving towards. Then we turn in the other direction. And then all the way around, pelvis rolling, just drawing your head and shoulders around in circle, moving your weight from one hip to another, from one foot to another, from one hip to one foot, and so on. So again, just feeling that when we move from the center of the body, everything is touched. In that sense, it's often described as being like the hub of a wheel. If you have a bicycle wheel and you turn the hub, the whole wheel will move. And then back that way. and then stepping out. And again, it's as though you're pushing your foot out from the center, put the heel down, lower the ball of the foot, press in gently, and sort of push from your hip into the ground, and then back, planting the foot, stepping and planting. So once you planted the foot, again tilting forward so your weight follows the movement back. The other side again, pushing your foot out from the center of your body. Following up with this planting of the foot. And that helps you create the space in the leg for your weight to move. Alternating now from side to side and noticing how your body accommodates that. I find that I move to one side, it's exaggerated now. I turn a little bit, but it's quite a small movement just to release some of the weight from that side of the body. I want to take a step. These are very interesting, quite fine motor movements. And working in an area, that area of the pelvis in the center of your body is so crucial to our mobility. One more on each side. Coming back to the basic position. So the center part of our body, that area from your pelvis and hips up to our waist, becomes the sort of central focus. It's that part of the body that is dropping towards the ground, that part of the body that moves our weight, affects our shoulders, and so it becomes a really important aspect of the art, a really important part of the body. So once again, kind of having the background. So when we use terms like grounded, like being centered in Tai Chi, these are not metaphors, they're real physical experiences. But and just making sure of your posture, hands down to your sides, turning your hands palm forwards. And once again, your center rolling forwards, drawing your upper body with it, your arms following your shoulders, rotating both directions. And this bird folds its wings. The very subtle opening and closing of the chest. And equally subtle opening and closing in your back, sort of mirroring the movements in your chest. So your back contracts slightly as you're drawing your chest, your ribs out, and then that extended area contracts, seemingly drawing your shoulder blades apart. More time. Now, from the forward position, hands facing back, fisherman cast the net. Most of the time, your arms are trailing behind your shoulders, but as you settle in your front foot, they swing out a little bit. Then once again, they're following your shoulders as you come to the upright position, and then as you settle into your hips, the arm swings out just a little. It happens on both sides, and just see if you can develop a sense of what happens in your sides, your back, front of your body when your arms swing through and out a little bit. Which parts of your body feel like they're expanding, which parts feel like they're contracting. Now, changing again. Drawing your arms over, as though you're rolling the ball in towards your chest. Trying to get away from the idea that you're lifting your arms. Your arms are in contact with the imaginary ball. You're pulling on them. Exaggerating, but you don't really want to lean back. But you push your feet down, your shoulders come away, and just for a moment, there's an extension right the way through the length of your arm, which then begins to contract. Our bodies have a natural elasticity in the soft tissue, particularly. Muscles, certainly, tendons and ligaments to an extent in the fascia. And the general pattern in Tai Chi blends with that elasticity. The movements follow a very generalized pattern of extension, contraction, extension, contraction. The extension will have an effect on some areas of the soft tissue by drawing it out, and then, like any elastic object, strip, there'll be a contraction. So with the next time your arms come up, turn them palm in and redirect that expansion a little bit more sideways. The pigeon spreads its wings, but still there's that pattern there. This pattern is the rhythm, is the pattern that underlies all of these movements. And when it's done gently, there's a natural sense of harmony that links those two stages. It's time. Leaving your hands, excuse me, leaving your hands in line with your hips. Elbows still go out a little bit, so you've still got that opening across your chest. And as you go forwards, elbows coming in, the combination of that with movement of your weight forwards really pushes your arms through quite strongly. The arms extend a little bit, but not overextending. Pushing wave. So doing these two movements as a little sequence, starting here, turning your hands in, and pigeon spreads its wings, that big expansive movement. Pressing back in, this time going to pushing wave. It's as though all the energy that we feel building up in the pigeon spreading its wings ends up being packed into a much smaller space, giving it a much denser and a much stronger feel. So this starts to direct our attention towards this stronger feeling within the body. It's a bit like if you were to get a bag and fill it up and then decide you wanted everything to go into a smaller bag. Everything will be sort of packed in a bit more tightly. So this time, when we draw back, turn towards one foot, step out and plant the foot, and push forwards. Coming back, bring the foot in, turn the other way, and again, pressing forwards. In Tai Chi, it's said that the movement, the energy is rooted in the feet. This contact to the ground and the sense of the movement, the energy that can arise from that. Transmitted through the legs, we can see this very clearly as we go from one leg to another, and our weight goes in and out of the leg. Guided and directed through the center of the body. And then expressed through our upper body and arms. And this is a formula that is worth remembering, and again having as an intention that we, regardless of the movement, there's always going to be this sense of a connection to the ground, the root. It starts to feel very much part of how we move. Until things like the absence of the root start to feel as though you've only got one shoe on or something like that. One more on each side. And then straight ahead again. Loose fist with your hands, punch with both fists. A rotation, once again, from your shoulder right down into your hands. And then at the end of the movement, unrolling your fingers, coming back, another expansive movement, drawing in now to once again pushing the wave. So again, the sort of sense of drawing the energy into your body and then expressing it through this slightly more focused, stronger move. Turning your hands palm down, turn, and then ease forwards, turn again, sweeping your hands around, polishing the table. Same thing in opposite direction. Hips are dropping back, so as you go forwards, again, there's that extension, that lengthening through your back and your spine, which extends over your shoulders, down through your arms and into your fingers. And then, of course, contracts back. So again, we have that same rhythm of expansion and contraction. The movement of your weight and the turning in your center, turning that into a circular pattern. More on each side. Bring your hands in, just let them rest down on your legs for a moment, palms up. And focusing on your feet and your hips, this time, both of them will gently press down together, giving you a sense of a rising movement, like a wave coming up through your upper body, expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. And this time, expand that wave, just pushing your arms up. Turn your hands over, so you're pressing the ball down into them. One simply called rooting down, but this time, turn your hands out. An expansion, pushing your arms away from your body, draws your hands and fingers up. This is the wild goose. As always, when a name or an image resonates with us, it's possible to bring in those sort of qualities that we recognize. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes the images don't mean much to us. But if the image of the bird in flight is one that offers some kind of quality, maybe smoothness, flow, or grace, movement, strength of movement, just try and have the intention that that quality is going to be in your own movements. And then easing forwards, push out, parting the clouds, like you're able to just part the clouds and let the sun shine through. This time letting your hands drop all the way down, feeling the weight of your arms hanging from your shoulders, focusing on one side, feeling the intention to expand, again pushing your arm up, wind around as though you're plucking a fruit off a tree, pull down, let your hand come to the full length of the arm, bring your attention to the center of your body and then to the other side, push up. Dragon plucks the stars. When you bring your attention just for a moment to the center of your body, also look for that feeling just sinking into the chair a little bit more. Particularly your hips dropping back. One more time. Bring your hands lightly touching the center of the body this time. Pushing up. Extending up through your back and the spine. And then down again, or just feeling that rise in movement from feet and hips like a wave pushing up through the body. Pushing into your arms and just directing your arms out and back. So that feeling of sinking into the chair and the resultant response, which is an upward energy, really one of the driving forces of these movements. So when we root down, we certainly get a greater stability as a result. And this is particularly important, of course, in the standing exercises. We also, when we root down, manage to create a sort of pathway downwards for excess weight in the upper part of our body and tension and tightness in the upper part of our body to drain away. That allows us more space for the movement, and in particular the internal movements that are so key to Tai Chi. Small physical changes, the flow of the energy. But the rooting down is also it's almost like opening up a channel for the rise in movement, the rise in energy. And it's initiated with the downward movement. So the root is also an integral part of the dynamics of the whole art. This time, as you push your hands out, extend one foot, just let it rest on the heel, knees slightly bent, and then easing forwards, scooping the seat, and then let your hips drop back, draw on your shoulders, draw your arms, and then expanding in the front of your body, looking at the sky, scooping the sea, looking at the sky. As your hands drop down, once again, rolling them into a loose, a hollow fist. And as you go forwards again, this time your head pushing upwards a little bit, drawing your arms after, grasping the tiger's ears. Change sides. Scooping the seed, looking at the sky. And then grasping the tiger's ears. Good. Right, now just coming back to the movement of your weight, but a slightly more complex pattern than we did before. Again, you're going to rock the pelvis forwards, turn, this time taking the majority of your weight into that left leg. You come back, diagonally back, turn the other way, bringing your weight over into your left hip. Now you go forwards diagonally into the right leg, your right leg. Come back. So as you come back into your left hip, you're going to turn slightly. I'm exaggerating these movements, by the way. You turn the other way and then move forwards and turn towards the left leg. So I can feel that actually with the degree that I'm turning, I'm risking throwing my posture out, twisting my back up. But this is so that you can see the movement. It's actually doesn't take a great deal of movement in that center part of your body to stimulate quite a significant movement in your arms. Now this time coming over into your right hip, hold a ball with your right hand on top, your left hand underneath, going forwards into your left leg and let that feed the left hand out. Right hand presses down till it's in front of the hip and this lovely opening feeling across the front of your body into your chest and lung. Coming back, drawing your hand over, hold the ball, turned, carrying the ball with you. And then into the right leg, turning, transferring your weight, opening up across your chest. And hold the ball, come across. Yeah. It's the image of the horse running that it appeals to something you might be able to imagine. The way the mane and tail stream out behind you. This suggests a soft, expansive quality with your arms as you go forwards and draw back. and rest. Part the wild horses may. Now, once again, tapping exercise, preparing to stand up, starting on your face. Moving up over your head and neck. Like that. A light, rapid movement. You may feel that your heart kind of responds with a slightly faster beat, which is good. Then on the other side. And the upper part of the chest. From chest down to your belly. And from your belly, your legs again, trying to just wake up those big muscles in your legs before you try to use them. Then pushing your heels up. And circling around. Bring the movement back into your hips. And the other direction. Okay, and then standing carefully. So, just excuse me while I get a drink. You could always use the chair as a bit of support. That could be quite a useful thing to do for all of us. It can enable us to sort of investigate certain aspects of it. I'm going to move mine out of the way, otherwise I'm going to keep bumping into it. So, feet below your hips, toes pointing forwards, and in the standing posture, a bit closer. We want to try and have our feet, our weight in our feet slightly towards the front of each foot. So, a slight angling forwards. I'm exaggerating this, and you can see I'm being drawn forwards. I want an upright stance though. So rather than pulling my shoulders back, which then tightens up my back, what I want to do is to let my hips drop back. Almost like I'm just sort of like resting my hips on a table or resting on a fence or something like that. Slight feeling of hips, lower back and buttocks overhanging. This is the basic standing posture. Letting the hips sink down a little bit more, bringing your hands around and pushing up. The standing version of rooting down, allowing your weight to drop. Having a sense of your root going into the ground like a plant's root. And then, like a plant, you grow out of that. You're not lifting up, you're pushing up. One more time. And then wild goose. So again, we have that perhaps clearer than it is in the seated. We drop down and it seems to compress our legs like our legs were springy. And at a certain point, Legs begin to straighten, they push your foot down into the floor, push your upper body up. And again, we get that sense of a rise in movement, rise in energy. And then the standing version of parting the clouds. One more time. Give your legs a little shake. Now we're going to take that same idea of the compression of the leg, and instead of letting it push us up, we're going to take it into the horizontal movement. So from the parallel stance, turn one foot out, step forwards, keeping the width of your step, and you're going to transfer your weight. So let your weight drop into your back leg, and then as you feel the leg beginning to push you, direct it forwards into the front leg. And again, just resting on that front leg, and then when you feel push back. So again, it's like a wave flowing through the body, rising from the ground, and draining back into the ground. This time when you're in the back foot, raise front toes. You can turn the front foot out a little bit, go forwards, pushing the back knee in, raising the heel. So now more of your weight comes over and down through the supporting leg. Until you're able to take a step. So you bring your foot in. If it's your front foot, push out, you put the heel and the ball of the foot, just like in the chair. And then like in the chair, you plant the foot and then move the weight. If it's your back foot, the same idea, but it's going to be the ball of your foot that goes down first, and then your heel, then planting your weight. Changing sides. First of all, fixed step. Don't rush into the stepping. And then pushing the back knee in, doing that slight shift forwards until you're bringing your upper body into line with your supporting leg. And that's when we can take the step. This time, take a step through. So you can either go forwards or backwards. Bringing the foot in, extending out. So when you step, it really follows that same pattern of contraction, followed by expansion. Change direction. Your left foot forwards. And starting in your back foot, waiting for that push forwards and then letting the weight move and your arms following in standing version of fisherman castanet. And then into your front foot, and this time as your arms swing through, turning, redirect your arms. The arms come back a little bit like the wild goose, but this exercise is called Wind Blows the Willows. Expanding, contracting the upper body as your weight moves, expanding in the upper body as you settle into the neck. Okay, and then the other foot forward, starting with fisherman castanet. This is a great little exercise for just feeling again that sense of your whole body moving as one unit, from the soles of your feet to the tips of your fingers. Movement forwards, swinging through that wave-like movement flowing through your body, and then from the front foot back. And then wind blows the willows. Main sort of change is that your center turns. So once again, the significance of this central part of the body, connecting all parts. And then combining this with the stepping, come forwards, push your back knee in or raise your front toes. It depends which way you're going. But bring the foot in and again step out. Plant the foot, lower your hands as you move your weight. Same thing here. This is dragonfly skims the water. And what you may find is having brought the leg in, you're able to just raise it up. If that doesn't feel comfortable, then don't do it. It's not a major thing. Change in direction. And bring your feet back. Good. So going back to your chair. Once again, sitting, and if you can, so you're sitting forwards with a little bit of weight in your feet. And let your hands drop down to your sides again. Movement that starts a little bit like the wild goose. You push your arms out, but then bring them around. So you're going to hold a ball against your chest. Draw in, turn your hands palm down, and this feeling of settling again. This is embrace tiger. Return to the mat. Your hands drop, and then starting the whole cycle over again. Very much with the emphasis in this closing exercise on that drawing in, settling down, quietening down part of the sort of cycle. Not ignoring the expanding part. One more time. And the hands come to rest. Okay, we'll finish there. Thank you very much, as always. If you do have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me. Other than that, I'll say goodbye. Bye-bye for now.